Hey all. Rather than explain all of what I'm doing, because I know there are people who, one guy said the other day, man, you remind me of my ex-wife, you talk too much. Which probably explains why he has an ex-wife and not a current wife. Hey, I'm going to go through this Hanson, yes, Hanson, who I'm unashamed to say does some great pop tunes. But I'm going to go through their a cappella version, playing a guitar acoustic part underneath them, singing Too Much Heaven. So I'm just going to do the chord shape in this open or close to open E. And then at the end I'll explain what we're doing.
Nobody gets too much heaven no more. It's much harder to come by. I'm waiting in line. Nobody gets too much love anymore. It's as high as a mountain and harder to climb. Oh, you and me, girl, we got a lot of love in store. And it goes for you, and it goes for me, and I love you so much. In my life, I can see beyond forever. Everything we are will never die. Loving such a beautiful thing. Oh, you know, a summer day. Are you just a dream? Nobody gets too much heaven no more. It's much harder to come by. I'm waiting now. Nobody gets too much love anymore. It's as high as a mountain and harder to climb. Oh, you and me, girl, we got a highway to the sky. We can turn away from the night and day and the tears you had to cry. You're my life. I can see under tomorrow. Everything we are will never die. Loving such a beautiful thing. When you want to be the light of love, therefore want to see our precious love. Nobody gets too much love anymore. It's as white as a river and hard to cross. Nobody gets too much heaven no more. It's much harder to come by. I'm waiting in line. Nobody gets too much love anymore. It's as high as a mountain and harder to climb. Wow!
Okay. So what was going on there? It's in open E or thereabout. And what I did was, I went to a Bee Gees version, where it's just the three of them and Barry on acoustic. So when the Bee Gees did it live in, I think it was Las Vegas in the late 90s or early 2000s, somewhere around there, I don't know. They did it in a different key from the recorded album one. So setting aside the Bee Gees album recording that you've heard a bunch of times, they did it in a cappella in a different key. Would have been the key of F or thereabouts. So I liked that version and wanted to teach that version, but then I saw in the recommended column, I guess Hanson, when they would tour, I don't know if they still do, but I think it's the end of the show, and they would just go to the front of the stage with no microphones and no instrumental backing, and just do this a cappella version. So what I did was, I tuned to theirs, which is a step up from where the Bee Gees did their live version. So this is open E, as opposed to D, which Barry did. So This looks like the chords that Barry would have used, but sounds a step higher. All right. So I'm kind of teaching both versions because they look the same. It's just a question of tuning a step apart, if that makes any sense. So we're going to go through the chords for that one, which will also work if you tune it down a full step. These chord shapes will work for the Bee Gees live one. Get it? Okay. The instructional thing about this is, though, if you want to play like Barry did a lot, the chord shapes that he used, these are them. It's that same major shape and minor shape, basically, that he used all the time. So it just goes straight into it. So it's, when you watch Barry, we've talked about this, it looks like he's doing some kind of chord shape involving multiple fingers, but really he's just doing that. All the way across at 3. But since that can be, I don't know, it gets, the strings get right between your knuckles, and it's a little bit more taxing to do one finger. Find a way that works for you to do all the strings all the way across in one fret. I usually sort of do a 2-fingered version. So that's just the same as that. So you start in the 3rd fret. That's the major chord shape all the way across, and then the minor chord shape, which he does on the D, G, B, and E strings, just the top 4 string. And it's the same thing all the way across, except the G is one back. Up at 7, except make it minor. As high as a mountain. That's 8. The major all the way across. 3. So back to harder to climb. All the way across at 3 again. To climb. And then up here at 5 you do the minor shape. So far we got major at 3. Nobody gets too much. That's the minor shape at 7, then major at 8. Hard to come by. Back to 3. And major, minor at 5. Same thing. Sorry, yeah. There, you and me, girl, got it out of the love store. And it goes to me, and it goes to me, and in my life. Do. Right on that chord, I change it slightly to do. So it's D, G, B at 3, high E at 2. When you watch and listen to Barry doing it, he doesn't do that. He just does the major, but I like it with. So it's just those 4 strings. Major all the way across at 8. Love is such a beautiful thing. 7 minor. Then back, move that down to minor at 5. So then it stops there after the major at 10. Back to that. Start over again. getting toward the end of the tune, right? Now they modulate. Same exact progression except 2 frets up. Same shape. And they modulate one more time. So just start in this, then this, then this. Same chord. Right there. So those chord shapes, you'll kind of recognize when you watch Barry's hands. He would almost always use open D. Although there are some, like I think "How Can You Mend a Broken Heart" might be one of them. I'd swear he just tunes everything to E instead of D. So same intervals, same chord shapes. It's just a question of what frets you're in and whether you would do them open for that E chord. How Can You Mend a Broken Heart? So the 2 chord shapes you gotta know. Then he does other chord shapes. There are a few others thrown in there, but there are complete songs like this one where it's just the 2 shapes all the way across, and then the one. And you watch the Bee Gees version from live in Vegas, because you do hear. On the major chords, you hear a lot of bass notes because he can do all the strings. And all of a sudden you don't hear the low end, and then all of a sudden you do. Like that. So it's kind of the giveaway that those are the shapes he's doing. When he does the major shape, it's all 6 strings. When he does the minor shape, it's only D, G, B, and E string. The challenge, that's actually a good little workout, so tune to this. Find the Hanson one, too much having, and try to play along with it and keep time with them, because it's a little bit loosey-goosey, so you got to try to follow, you know. Good exercise. Good luck.